What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, guys. We have the 500 right here, and we have some goodies to put on tonight. What do we have? I'm about to show you. All right, guys, as you can see, we've got a package in, and it is from VMP with some goodies in there for the GT500. So we're going to open that box up and see what we got. Alright, of course, that's the thing. We got a VMP sticker. And then we've got, in the first box, I think this is the main thing that I wanted. And it is a, as you can probably tell, is a 2.5 pulley, and it's their stock look 2.5 pulley, which I absolutely love. But man, look at that stock belt on this thing. My little Roush TVS was a 6 rib, and this is a 10 rib from the factory. That's what you gotta love when manufacturers come out with stock supercharged stuff. They typically do it right, and this is no exception. Very, very nice. And then we have some more stuff in here. This right here should be I'll be gentle with it, right? You ever try to unbox something with one hand thing, and it's the N-Gauge. I ordered an HP Tuner's N-Gauge. Daryl does all my tuning, but however, he lives about an hour away. His shop is about an hour away from me, so kind of helps with, you know, data logging, and if we want to change something up or anything like that. Plus, it helps me keep, I can data log myself and check everything out, so love that. Got that, and then we've got, let's see, before I pull this out, we've got the 90mm idler from VMP to go with the pulley, so I can use a stock belt. And then we've got VMP pulley removal and installation tool, which is very nice. I had one similar to on my for my 03 Cobra, and this one is a lot nicer. So got that, and then I believe there's the instructions for everything. Alright, and I think one other thing in here. Yes, this is the bracket for the, or the mount rather, for the N-Gauge. Alright, so we got the 2.5 pulley. We've got the 90mm idler pulley. We've got the installation tool to put the pulley on. Remove the old pulley and put the new pulley on. We've got the N-Gauge. We've got the mount for the N-Gauge. And then I'm also going to put in some TR6s. This is just kind of for my sanity, I guess. I could pull the spark plugs out, re-gap them, whatnot, but I went ahead and got a set of TR6s. I ran these in my Cobra and loved them. You had to change them out often, but they work very well. For right now, they'll work until I get a bigger blower and go more boost, and then we'll need probably something different maybe. But for right now, they work fine. Also, this is not 100% necessary for what I'm with the 2.5 pulley that I'm using now. But if you remember, I had the Roush TVS on my 17, and when we went with Daryl's tune, the 47-pound injectors that come with the Phase 2 Roush kit were maxed out. So I bought a set of VMP sells them as 56-pound injectors, and they essentially are for the Coyotes, but they are the 1314 full performance 1314 GT500 injectors. The stock injectors in a 11 and 12 are 47 pounds, and these are the MU52s that VMP sells, and they're full performance, and they are a great upgrade for the 11-12 GT500, and they're the same ones using a 13-14 GT500. I have these laying around, so while Daryl's doing my tuning, I'm going to go ahead and throw these in just to have them in there for future. So guys, we're going to change the injectors, the spark plugs. I've got the spark plugs gapped at 32 thousandths. Everybody online says 32 to 35. I went with 32 to make sure I have no issues tomorrow when tuning on the dyno. So guys, we're going to get this installed right now. Alright guys, I don't know, you can't really tell, but it is raining, it is miserable, it is cold, it is Friday night, so the track is closed. I would be at the track, however, it would have made for a late night for me if I would have went to the track, because I'd have went to the track, I'd have came back, I'd have put the pulley, injectors, plugs, and everything in the car, and had it ready, because I got to be at the dyno about an hour and a half away from here in the morning at Titan Motorsports. Daryl will be there to tune the car. So this gives me the weather, it does suck, but it gives me a chance to get the car ready for tomorrow. And tomorrow and Sunday is supposed to be beautiful, sunny. So guys, but right now we're going to get started. All right, first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take off the cold air intake assembly. Then we're going to take out the throttle body, the elbow, and we're going to change out the plugs and the injectors first. The reason being is that it's a lot easier to break this loose when it's warm, so I'm going to change out the injectors and the plugs so I can start the car, and I'll go ahead and load the tune and data log for Daryl for the idle and everything, and send that to him to make sure the fuel trims and everything look good on the car with the new injector data with the injectors in. It's easier to change the spark plugs and injectors with the engine code, and it's easier to change this pulley out with the engine warm, because the pulley will break loose easier. So that's what we're going to do, guys. That's I'm going to get started with removing everything and getting the plugs and injectors changed out. Alright, so we got the injectors installed, we got the new plugs installed, and we are ready to load the tune in and fire this thing up. But in case you haven't used an HP Tuner's N-Gauge, I'm kind of going to walk you through, because this is my first time really using it also. So let's go check it out. Alright, so we are going to go to tuning, and we are going to go down. Daryl said to go down until I seen a thing that said read vehicle. So there's read vehicle. Then we're going to select on forward, gas, and then we're going to scroll down until we find my vehicle, which is let's see, come on, 2011 to 14 505462 manual plus auto 5458 GT500. That's the one we want. Turn key on, do not start. Not sure how long this is going to take, but I'll pick back up when it stops. Alright, so it is done and it saved the file. Basically, all this does is save the stock calibration so you have it always. So now that we've done that, we're going to check mark. And now we're going to go into, we should be able to go into load tuning, load tune. And GT500 MU52 base, this is the one that he gave me. So check mark, flash this tune, check mark, and load and tune. Approximately take 8 minutes, okay. And to the power of editing, you are going to pick up whenever this is done. Alright, so we have successfully loaded the tune. It says turn the key off for 10 seconds and start the vehicle. So, that's what we're going to do. Go start this thing. Sounds good. So this is new to me, guys, so I'm trying to figure out exactly signal. We're gonna go over, I want lambda bank 1 sensor 1, check. And then I want signal, and I want lambda 2 bank 2 sensor 1, check. And alright guys, now if you're new to lambda, I'm gonna get you a little closer so you can see. If you are new to lambda, basically lambda is like AFR. It's just most people tune off lambda now, and this reads off lambda. Okay, lambda is great because no matter what fuel you're using or anything else, 1 is stoic. So if it's reading 1, you're perfect. If it's reading below 1, you're running a little richer than stoic. If it's reading above 1, you're running a little leaner than stoic. So as you can see, I'm running around 0.99 to 1. That is perfect. Everything looks great as far as that. Alright, so we got a log done for Daryl. Just I selected a few pits he wanted to see, got the log done. Alright, so now it's time to swap the pulley out, what all this is about. So we're going to take the 2 bolts out here. We're going to take this reservoir, we're going to move it over, and then that way we can access the pulley that we need, the idler pulley we need to change, the tensioner that we got to move to get the belt off, and then we'll swap out the pulley. Alright, to show you what I've done. Basically, this right here, this is the VMP tool that they'll send out. As you can tell, it's got the VMP logo right there. But you'll put it on the frontmost ribs on the pulley. And then you'll install the bolts. Now, these bolts are you just have to get them hand tight. They don't have to be crazy, just hand tight like you see me do with a socket. So hand tight. And then once you get that on, then you get this bar, which I've got to get that off. That slid into that very well, and it's there. Okay, there, I just slid it out. All right, so you'll put I used a 12-inch extension to hold it, but anyway, the chamfer side, I can't talk today, but anyway, it's facing towards you, and then you'll start the bolts, and use these bolts for the washer, and you'll start the bolts. Now here's the important part. All right, so the important part is this piece right here. This piece is actually what is going to pull the press onto the pulley onto the snout, press against the snout, and pulling this back. So what you want to do to make sure you don't damage, you see you got threads in there. If you can see, you don't want to damage those threads. So they send you some lubricant right there, and you just want to make sure this washer right here you'll put on just like that. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure as you're running this up, you want to make sure that slides in there and everything is just right there. Okay, once you have that and everything loaded up, you are ready to I use the impact. If you don't have an impact, you can use a ratchet. I know on my 03 Cobra I didn't have an impact one time I was doing it, and I just had somebody hold the extension on the one piece, and then I went to town with the ratchet on the other piece. And it takes a little while to get it to pop, but if you get the vehicle warm or the supercharger warm, it makes it a lot easier to pop off. But I used an impact because I have one at my disposal. So that's pretty much how you pull it off, guys. It's pretty simple. It's just, if you ever pulled any kind of pulley off anything, it's straightforward. This tool is a great tool. Very, very nicely made. I really like it. All right, so now that I've got the old pulley off, it's time to put the new pulley on, and then put the idler on, and then we'll be ready to roll. Get it up to the dyno in the morning and get it tuned. Alright guys, if y'all can see me, I'm going to thread this in to make sure the threads are good. I do have my tap and die set here just in case the threads are not good, which they are very good. It's threading all the way in very easily. And I'm going to thread that in and get it good right there, so it'll be there. Alright, so then we're going to put the pulley on like so, and just kind of get it. You don't have to really do nothing because the tool that you're going to use is going to do everything for you. Now, this tool right here has got a spot that threads in to this, okay? So you want to put the nut on and run the nut down. Alright, this right here is a bearing in itself, okay? So you want to make sure you got this, because you do not want this nut turning against this. It's going to maul everything up. So this right here allows everything, the nut to spin and this to spin on the pulley, so nothing gets damaged while you're doing it. But we got to thread this on in, on up. Alright, once we get it threaded up enough, we're going to slide this on. Alright, now we're going to thread this onto the stud that I screwed into the snout of the supercharger. Alright, make sure you get it good and tight. Alright, now, see that nut's loose, so I got it tight before the nut got loose. So now we're going to move this on up and just grab it. Alright, this is a little overkill, but it's just holding the boat. Remember, you don't want to turn the boat, you just want to hold the boat. Okay? You want to turn the wrench. So this right here, this ratchet gives me a lot of leverage, so I just barely have to hold it, and I can concentrate on pushing the supercharger pulley on with the nut. Now, everything should move in a pretty easy fashion. You shouldn't, if you get bound up, the main thing you want to do is you want to back off and you want to check everything, make sure everything is right. You shouldn't get bound up. Now that I got you closer, as you can see, it is pull. If you watch closely, it is pulling in. Now, there's not a whole lot of effort that I'm putting out to spin it on. All right, now it stopped, so now I'm gonna check and see if it's seated. So basically, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this nut back, and then I'm gonna unthread this. You lack quite a bit to have it seated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this, get this back in good, and then we're going to thread this back in. All right, so now we're going to try it again. Alright, we're back moving again. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. We wanted it to keep moving. Alright, as you're pulling it on, you want to keep check on it, and it's hard to tell, but there's a tapered end. If you've ever put power steering pump pulleys or anything like that, there's a tapered end that you want to meet, the end of the tapered end you want to meet up with the snout, because you can press it on too far and then you won't be able to turn it. But if that happens, all you gotta do is put the tool back on and back it back off just a little bit. I actually did that one time on the 03 Cobra. So once you have that where you want it, then you're just going to take your little Christmas tree, as I call it, and you're going to put it back in. And then we're going to put the idler on, and then put the belt on, and we're done. Alright, for this, we are going to move this back out of the way again. You want to be careful with these tees. Those tees can break, so you got to be careful. You don't want to do a lot. You just basically want to move it over very easy. And the idler is right there. It is tucked off in there, but you can get it out. You just gotta move the hose around, move that hose around, get that out. Not a big deal. That's what we're gonna do now, guys. Alright, real quick. This is the stock idler that I took off, and this is the idler that I'm putting on. As you can see, the size difference. And this is the reason you want to use this is it is going to take up the slack in the belt with a smaller pulley, and it's going to keep you from having belt slip. So let's get it on. Alright, so everything's put back together. Just to put it in perspective, guys, this is a stock pulley, and that is the new pulley on the supercharger. This is a 3-inch, and the one on the supercharger is a 2.5. So we're gonna make a little bit more power now, guys. Then once we run this pulley for a little while, then it's time to take that blower up and out. And yeah, that's down the road, guys. No time soon. We're gonna maximize this supercharger. We're gonna do eventually we're gonna get the throttle body, the elbow. We're gonna put it to its max, and then it's gone, and something new will take its place. Alright, so I was going to try to get this video out to you Saturday, guys, but I didn't get started on this car till later on during the night, because I had some stuff to do after work, so I got started on it later on during the night. However, we've got the injectors in, we've got the spark plugs in, we've got the pulley on, the idler on, we've got the tune that Daryl sent me, the base tune that Daryl sent me, to be able to run these injectors on my stock GT500 tune. That is in. I data logged. He said everything looks good. We're ready for it in the morning. But however, I've still got to put the street wheels on so I can go to the dyno in the morning, and it's already late, so there's no chance I'm gonna get this video edited and out to you guys. But however, I will put this video, you'll be watching it, it'll be Sunday. I will already have it dynoed. I will already know the horsepower. So guys, leave a comment below how much horsepower you think this car is going to make. You can do horsepower torque, but what I'm going to do is the person who gets the closest to the horsepower without going over wins a free shirt. I would go closer to horsepower no matter what, but there's going to be people that are over and an under. So let's just make it easy. Whoever gets closest to the horsepower without going over wins a free shirt. So just to tell you the mods, we've got a Lethal Performance 3-inch H-pipe, off-road H-pipe. We've got pretty much stock cold air intake. That is a for performance to get rid of the silencer, so that's all that does. We've got a 2.5 pulley, and we've got the injectors. The injectors are just there for supporting, so don't pay no attention to that. So basically 2.5 pulley, off-road H, stock catback, yeah, with a 93 octane tune. So guys, drop a comment below. How much horsepower do you think this car is going to make? If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you next time.